Hi, everyone. It's Maggie, and welcome to part two of my series on making a fabric book. And before I get into working on it, a couple of things. First of all, I tried to do a finish on the photos where they were paper. Last night I was playing around and I had decided, okay, I'm gonna put some, and it wasn't Mod Podge. It was a fast finish decoupage liquid, and it didn't show up right away, but it ended up streaking and running some of the colors. So I had to nix that. So I had the same images on as black and white, and so that's what I'm going to have to go with. So there's one change, and that just shows you, what I do when things tend to go wrong. But anyway, so now she was black and white, but the paper must have had some color in it because the same thing happened. So I took off the image that I originally had down here, and it came off pretty easily because it was on paper. And then I put down this image, which happens to be on fabric. So that's okay. Now, the second thing is usually, and I think I said in my first video, I tend to embellish the cover. But because of putting down like three-dimensional things, especially if it has bling in that, it tends to make noise and drag once you open up and start working on the book. So what I decided to do, and even though I know it's boring, but it is part of making your book, is I'm going to go around the edges of the rest of the book because I picked out the trims that I wanted to use, and then we'll start embellishing. So in my stash, I had found this little dangle trim that I thought would work well. So I'm going to put this on, and I'm going to use, like I said, I'm going to switch to the hot glue because to me, it's just as good. And let me get the right side of this. And it does go a lot quicker. So, and I promise the fun stuff won't be too long. Maybe in the next video, I'll be able to start that. I should be able to get these done in just the one video. All right, so and this makes a huge difference. And I think the last one I actually did the same thing. I went around all the edges of the pages with the trims before I did start doing anything. So, all right, let me get my little, oh, there it is. I was on Michelle Scott's live with her today, and we were playing with paper. So I had to remove all that stuff, and now I'm definitely trying to find all my fabric stuff again. So yeah, see how quick, I mean, this goes really quick. Just like I said earlier, you definitely want to get that hot glue into those fibers. And hopefully I was in frame. I always forget to kind of look to make sure, but I don't have my camera doesn't show a wide space of crafting. So I have to try to remember, okay, look and see where you are on on the screen. And it's funny because I'm reaching for my um, I'm reaching for the Fabri-Tac instead of the hot glue again. Hopefully this is going on straight. So I hope I can keep your interest going. It's not getting this. I know how boring this part is, just watching me, glue stuff down, but it's a necessary part. I said I would do the whole journal on camera so you could see from start to finish. So that includes kind of the boring parts too. And hopefully nothing goes wrong with this video because I didn't even realize, you need to see each step. And once this is down, I can't undo it and then start over again. So that's another reason why you're going to see any bloopers that happen or mistakes. Not that I try to hide them anyways. I think there's a little piece there. I think that's part of it too. So I'll tell you though, doing these, I'm so used to doing the live videos with like Michelle and Laurel and Patty that it's kind of strange going back to making these streamed videos, but there's nobody there because you want to keep the conversation going, but you don't always know what to say or to fill. It just seems like when you're not talking, it's hard to fill in that silence. And then sometimes, you might get somebody that says, "Oh, you talk too much." So you can't win them all, right? I was happy to find this little dangle one. It was in one of my drawers. I don't know about any of you, but I always forget what I have, so I have to start every once in a while. I start going through again where I store like my laces and appliques and all that because it's like you open up and you start going in between some of them because some of my drawers are like full, and oh, I forgot I had that, or gee, I wish I had that, 2 projects ago. I could have used it. But I mean, unless you can have all glass cases of all your things there for you to see, it's kind of hard to remember everything. At least it is for me. Yeah, I wish I could have found one more small dangle like this, but I did look through and I didn't see any other ones that were small enough. And I hate to take ones and cut down the dangles. All right. So see, that was pretty quick. wasn't too bad. All right, let's cut that right there. All right, so that's that page. And then there's just these 2 pages left. No, wait a minute, I'm wrong. Okay, that's right. Yep. There's the middle 2 and then the end 2. Now, let me put that over there. I think what I want to do is, I have this one here and it's got a little, I love the frayed edges too. And I was thinking of using this for the middle too. It's kind of, I just don't know. Let me see if I can see when you close it. Yeah, I think that would be okay. All right, let's see which is the right side. Some of these you really can't tell. I think this is the right side. Let me move this out of the way. Now, let's see how this is gonna lay before I start gluing down. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to cut these because I'm gonna finish it off. So I think I'm going to cut just above that line there, like that. So this will take a minute too. And I normally I steam iron all my trims, but I purposefully didn't do that because I wanted them to look frayed and, and worn. I wanted that look. I like that look. And I think I had basically cut this to fit the 2 pages. So I might as well just keep going quickly, as quickly as I can. And get these done. And I hope the lighting's okay because it is 5 o'clock in the afternoon and it is pitch black out. But I do have my overhead lights on and there's candles in, those candles in the window. And the middle one is like wicked bright. They're electric. And so I'm hoping that gives off a little light too. Just for some reason, I don't think the colors always show up as well, but I just didn't have a chance to do the video during the day. But it won't matter because I'm using all neutral colors for this part anyway. And it was dreary, so I don't think the lighting would have been any better even this afternoon. We're supposed to get rain starting in about an hour or two, and it's supposed to continue all the way through tomorrow. No, didn't show any stopping signs in between the hours. So unless that changes, it's going to be another dreary day tomorrow. But I guess it's better than snow. Although sometimes I think I'd rather have the snow. Okay, so let's get this down. And, okay, I should do this, right? All right. So I think I want it to start about there. Now this one, normally I would just put a line of blue, but because this isn't straight across and there's gaps, I'm going to do it this way. So this might take just a little bit longer, but it shouldn't take too much longer. But I'd rather do it the right way. Like that. And I think what I also might have to do is, I don't know if it's going to work. There's going to be like I think I'm going to cut that. So that's going to be a little different from what you've seen so far too. All right, let's get this down. Like I said, I'm going to be covering this part up with another trim to finish it off. So okay, so there's that. Now let's see how this works out. If I just don't want to start it there, because then you've got, whoops, and I'm not in camera. Hold on, because you want to see this. All right, if I started here, it's like you've got a gap here, right? You've got a gap, and I don't like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over it, and I'm going to start right about there. Okay, I'm going to go right across there. But let me just get that part on there quick. All right, let's not burn the hands. So we go there. And now I can just go a little quicker along here. Like that. Hopefully you don't hear any noise in the background. My grandson has a friend over and they're playing video games and they get a little excited as they're playing, but they're having fun. So I don't want to hurt their fun. Oh, well, I knew that was a matter of time, right? Because that happens. All right, let's cut this. That definitely happens. I don't have a lot of space, and where my video camera sits right on the edge of my table, it's right next to my left hand and arm. So I know I bump it, but that really can't be helped. I try to remember. Get those out of the way. And this shows you too the different trims that you can use. The only thing I find hard to use, like going around the edge of the pages, would be a straight trim. I think the ones with, you know, like the scallop or the dangle, that type of trim works a lot easier than a straight one, unless you can gather it. And I've tried gathering some of my trims and I have a hard time doing that. Okay, here we go. All right, so again, let me just make sure I've got this. Yeah. All right, so what I'm going to do though is, now you can see on this part, that's real, it's really doesn't look right to me. So I'm going to cut it here at the start of a scallop. Let's see if that works better. Let's put it this way. You can, yeah, see, that works much better. All right, so let me just bring this up a little more. All right, glue that down. Get that down there. Yeah, that works much better. And this one, I don't think, let me just see, I don't want to cut it in the wrong place. If I cut it there and I start it there, will that look right? I don't know. So you know what? I'm going to cut it right. I'm going to cut it right here and then cut off what I don't need, because I still have plenty to do the bottom. All right, so let's get the rest of this page, this side of the page down quick. I'm already at 22 minutes, and I really do want to keep them to a half hour or less if I can. But I also want to get that last 2 pages done quick, and then we can do some more fun things in part 3. All right, so I'm not cutting this yet because I want to see how it looks when I put the bottom. I'll put the bottom on. So let me just cut this little edge off here and start at the scallop again. So I think if I cut here, then I can start right there. And once the book is done, it will look fine. I don't think it'll even be noticed. All right, what did I do? I keep losing. I keep losing that. Excuse me. Okay, so let me put this up a little higher so you can see, although you don't really need to see this, it's still just gluing down, right? But try to stay in camera. Can you hear them up there? They have so much fun. They've been best friends since they were born. well, let's see, I think Jake's a little is Jake a little older? No, I think Mason's a little older. So Mason was born first, and Jake came a few months later. And um, Jake's sister Dee is my granddaughter Maddie's age. She's a few months October, November. She's 3 months older than Maddie, and they've been best friends since then. They actually met waiting in line to have Maddie's picture taken. My daughter-in-law took her to one of the department stores at the time to have her picture taken, and there was a long line. It might have been Target. I'm not sure. It was Maddie's going to be 14, so it was 14 years ago. And she was waiting in line, and it was a long line. And their mom, Jen, was either like in front of her or behind her, and they got to talking and found out they lived in the same town. And they became friends. And Dee and Maddie have been best friends since then. And when Jake and Mason came along, they became best friends. And it's nice because the families get together all the time, especially in the summertime. All right, so I'm going to cut that right here. So I know that, that's just a little story just to kind of have a little noise in the background. All right, so let's put this on there. Okay, so that worked out pretty good. All right, we're at 27, so I'm going to do the last 2 pages quick, then I'll call it a day, and then the part 3 will start with the images and what goes behind it and appliques and stuff. So, okay, now the only thing I'll have to do first in part 3 is to go over the edges with whatever I'm going to go over it with, and then that'll be done, but that won't take long. So I'm trying to decide. This is the other half of, where is it? Oh, right here. This trim here, this is the other half of it that I cut off. And I was thinking of putting that on there so that this little, fuzzy stuff, and then putting another trim over that. But I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to do that, or the other one I had out was this one, and I think I'm kind of going with this one. So yeah, I think there's just a little more. And what I might do is cut the fringe off of this and use it as the finishing part. I think that's what I'm going to do. So, all right, let me put that aside so it doesn't get tangled. And let's get this done. And then we'll be all set. So I want that right about there. And I think I'm going to need another glue stick in just a minute. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm really putting a lot of pressure with this little rubber spatula to get it in those fibers. Yep. grab another glue stick. All right. So now I can go right along here. Try to get that straight. And this will, once I'm through doing this, this will all flatten out too. That's just because I have a little opening in the two, between the two pages until I get this done. Because you want to get it in between there. So what's today? The 13th. I haven't even started Christmas shopping yet. I just can't until I know, like, I'm in the spirit of it. And I don't mind waiting till the last minute. So that's where I am. I think my daughter's like just about finished. She always starts early and finishes early. It's her favorite time of year. And she loves giving gifts. She's so funny. She's always been like that. And she's 41. But she doesn't have any children, so she spoils Maddie and Mason, and she has a few others that call her auntie. All of Maddie and Mason's cousins on their mom's side call her Auntie Angela or Auntie Ange, and she just loves them all. And she's one of those that, you know, everything she gets it's something thoughtful. I haven't heard, she hasn't texted me yet either, and she had texted me yesterday asking me if I wanted, there's a huge mall. It's like, it's an outdoor mall though, so you have to walk like from store to store. And with, excuse me, all the rain, which we didn't know at the time that we were going to have, she said, do you want to come with me? I have to get a gift card either Friday night or Saturday during the day. She said, I want to go to that little cafe and get a cappuccino and a chocolate croissant. She goes, I'm really craving one of those croissants. And I said, well, let's see what the weather's going to be like. And so I assume she had a half a day of work today. She only works half a day on Friday. She's a dental hygienist, and then she has the weekend off. And so I did say to her, though, I said, oh my gosh, Ange, do you know how many people are going to be at that mall this weekend before, you know, Christmas? And then it's like, well, why are you even saying something like that? You haven't even started. So when you go, it's going to be even crazier. But I'm hoping I don't like to go in this kind of weather. So I'm just, even if I don't mind the cold, as long as it's not raining. So wait and see what it's going to be like when I do feel like, okay, it's time to start shopping now. Because I mean, I do a little bit of online shopping, but I don't do a lot of it. I just like to see what I'm getting. And then I don't have to worry about if it doesn't come on time, even though they promise you, oh, it'll be there by Christmas. That doesn't always happen. And then you get it and maybe it's not what you thought it was. So you have to nix that and get something else. So yeah, I like hands-on, even if it is crowded. All right. So all the pages now, the only thing left to do, like I said, is to finish them off. And I don't have other than this, but that's going to take too much time. I'm going to cut this off ahead of time. And so it'll be ready to put on, and I'll have the other pieces that I'm going to use too. Because I mean, you don't have to finish it off, but for me, I just like the finished look. Like this along here just doesn't look pleasing to me, to the eye, to my eye. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So, all right. Well, 37 minutes. That's not too bad. All right. So that's it for part two. Part three, I guarantee you the boring stuff will be over and the fun stuff will start. So, for all of you that are following this series, thank you so much. I so appreciate your support and your comments and all that. Um, so, have a really nice Friday evening, and I will, where it's the weekend, I may not get to do part three tomorrow, but I'll try to do it by Sunday so there's not too much of a gap between each parts, or not too much time goes by between the parts. So you'll just have to kind of see when I'm able to get them on there. So thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you in part three. Bye for now.